All right, good evening. It is 7:30. It is our legislative session. We're going to do the pledge and we will then continue with our meeting. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, visible with liberty and justice.
All right. Trustee White,
Present?
trustee Yost, trustee Fritchie on camera, on Zoom,
I
can't
am
see
present.
him. Oh, there he is.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Bob.
and Deputy Mayor, Deputy Mayor Lopez
Present.
and Mayor Levin.
Present.
Okay, mayors and trustee announcements.
Okay, Bob, do you have an announcement? Start with you.
No, I do not.
Okay. I hope everyone is well. We're getting near the end of January. And please be on the lookout. Next month in February, we often, especially in this community, Bethany has some wonderful things and events happening for Black History Month. And throughout the county, there are also other programs, so just be on the lookout as announcements are made. And we do want to wish our condolences. One of our colleagues, Holly Perlowitz, her mom passed recently. We wish the family, we send our condolences, and may her mom's memory be for a blessing. Other than that, I think we can go right to Village Manager Karen Diatori.
Good evening, everyone. So I have two reappointments for our land use boards. First, I'd like to reappoint Catherine Wilson to the Historic Preservation Commission for a term ending 12/31/2029. And I am glad to reappoint Seth Roy to the Planning Board as chair for a term ending 12/31/2029. I'd also like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our Department of Public Works, our Parks Department, and our Police Department for coordinating storm efforts over the weekend. Thankfully, it was not a horrible snow, but we did get a lot of snow. And I just want to thank everyone for the extra effort it took to make sure that the streets were cleared and our emergency snow emergency parking was clear, and that we got things cleaned up as quickly as possible. And just as a reminder for those of you watching at home, you are required to clean your sidewalk within 6 hours after the end of a snow emergency. And we really encourage you to do so because it helps with the cleanup greatly. So don't know how much more snow we're going to get this year, but if it does snow, just remember, you are responsible for shoveling your walk and cleaning things within 6 hours after the end of the snow emergency. And it is a great help and benefit to us all when you do that. Thank you. The community center will be open as a warming station through Saturday since we have a bit of unusually cold weather during hours of operations from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And our new message board, digital message board, is up and running. So as you're driving along Croton Avenue towards Route 9, or you're leaving Route 9 to go up Croton Avenue, you can look for the announcements that are right there outside Village Hall. Thank you, Jamie Hoffman, for your work in coordinating the messaging on that sign. And thank you to our Department of Public Works also for their job erecting the sign. So
Great. Thank you.
Corporation Counsel, Stuart Kahan.
I will defer my report tonight because there's really nothing from the Corporation Council end. Speak for themselves. Just been reviewing a lot of contracts, and it is interesting to see on the message board when I come in that it says 2 degrees. So now I know precisely.
Police Chief Aaron Zimmerman.
Good evening. Aaron stole a little bit of my thunder with the snow emergency. Okay, I'll let it slide. But again, yeah, thanks to all the residents and everyone with cooperation with the snow emergency. I know it is probably less than convenient, especially on a weekend, to have to move your cars from in front of your houses, but it really does help immensely with the snow clearing efforts with DPW and getting emergency vehicles through some of the streets that are we have the snow emergency rules in effect. So thank you all. Only had to tow 2 cars this year, so
that's good.
First one, that's good. And from our perspective, we will take a weekend storm any day of the week where there is no school and most of the people are off the next day. So that definitely helped a lot, keeping the people off the roadways. It is a big help just staying home and staying off the roads. Big help. Thank you. Also, moving forward with some of our positions we're looking to fill. I know the overnight parking position has been posted. We've gotten a lot of feedback on that. Thank you, Jamie, for getting that out there. Also the ACO position and as well as a dispatcher position, all of which are civil service list, civil service positions. So if you're not on the list, the parking position right now, we can hire provisionally. The other 2, you have to be on a current list or resign, reinstate from another agency that you're currently doing that position in. Also looking to hire 2 police officer spots. So if you're on the list, watch out for canvas letters. They're coming. Other than that, all I got.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, organizational announcements. Is there anyone in our virtual world that would like to make an announcement of an event related only, no more than 2 minutes in length? Please raise your virtual hand. All right, moving on, seeing no one. Public comment on agenda items. Visitors shall be accorded a 1 4-minute opportunity to address the board in any resolutions on the agenda. If you wish to discuss that, please raise your virtual hand. No one? Visitor recognition. Visitors are accorded a 1 3-minute opportunity to address the board on issues not relating to the agenda but relevant to the common good of the village. Again, raise your virtual hand if you have something to say. Thank you very much. Village Board resolutions. Approval of minutes, January 8th, 2025. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby approves the minutes of the January 8th, 2025 regular meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Any comments? Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the, thank you. Approval of the voucher detail report. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby approves the voucher detail report dated January 22nd, 2025 in the amount of $1,754,752.89. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Did you want to ask some questions? We now have Manny Casada, used to be to my left, my immediate left. I would always ask because he did the vouchers and we're very grateful. But we have now Trustee Yost, who apparently is a voucher lover himself. So we might be turning to him. Do you have any questions? Do you have a mic?
Didn't really have any questions, but I was glad to see that it looked like we were able to move relatively quickly in the year on a couple of the vehicle purchases that had been approved from a budget perspective. And Chief, it looked like you had gotten 2 or 3 hybrid cars.
6.
6, total of 6, 3 from 23 and 3 from 24. So.
Okay, I couldn't tell exactly how many there were, but I
Yeah.
saw that they had been, at least identified, and I think that'll help out a lot versus based on what you were talking about
Immensely.
in the budget meeting. So I just wanted to comment that I was glad to see movement on that from a progress perspective.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Boards and commission reappointments. Resolved that the Board of Trustee reappoints the following individuals for the village boards and commissions for terms expiring on the dates noted. Board of Ethics, John Freed, December 31st, 2027.
John sent in a letter, he and Gloria are moving. And so I think a few months ago, he sent that he doesn't believe he's going to serve anymore. So we're going to remove him.
Okay. Richard Gans, December 31st, 2027. Shirla
Tukaru.
Tukaru, December 31st, 2027. Civilian Police Complaint Review Board, 2-year appointment, Kimberly Cohen, December 31st, 2026, and Michael Aurora, December 31st, 2026. Environmental Advisory Council, 2-year appointment, Nick Tedrow, December 31st, 2026, and Kate Schlott,
Schlott.
December, the chair, December 31st, 2026. Landlord-tenant relations, 2-year appointment, Rebecca Beatty, landlord member, June Carver, tenant member, Alexander,
Zamenhof.
thank you, sir, Zamenhof, neither tenant nor landlord, and Barbara Robinson, neither tenant or landlord, both of them December 31st, 2026. Youth Advisory Board, Alice Joslow, December 31st, 2027, a 3-year appointment, and Jeanette Gerber, December 31st, 2027. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second?
Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's as amended, because we're
Yeah,
going
as
to
amended.
remove, okay. Cybersecurity and IT advisory services. Resolved that following review of Corporation Counsel, the village manager is authorized to sign the January 3rd, 2025 proposal from Thomas DeMeo on behalf of PFK O'Connor Davis Advisory LLC, 245 Park Avenue, New York, New York, for cybersecurity and IT advisory services. Do I have a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Any comments, questions? Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Finance establishment of various capital projects for 2024 financing sources. Whereas the village management wishes to establish capital projects for various capital purposes and purchases which were part of the village's 2025 capital plan and designated to be financed by accumulative and available surplus funds balance as of December 31st, 2024. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the adopted budgets for the general water and sewer funds are modified in 2024 to appropriate unexpended appropriations and/or accumulated and available fund balance for 2025 capital items aggravating $2,489,500 and the capital project budgets as established. The list of all of these are on the webpage and on the bulletin board at the clerk's office if you want to see it in paper. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second?
Any comments or questions? Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Finance establishment of the 2025 street sidewalks curbs capital project from general fund balance and CHIPS state aid funding. Whereas the village management wishes to establish a capital project in accordance with the 2025 capital plan for street sidewalk resurfacing curbs not to exceed $550,000, designated to be financed by a transfer of $250,000 2024 general fund balance and $300,000 CHIP state aid funding. Now, therefore, be resolved that the capital project and the capital project are established as follows. And again, the document, all the numbers are on the webpage and on the clerk's office. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second?
Dale, I just want to make sure this is exactly in line with the budget that we passed. Is there anything on here that's new or different, either less or more?
No, these are all what the board had approved during the budget process in the 2025 capital plan.
Okay, and did we, in the street sidewalk curbs, it's 550, I think it's been 550 last year too? Or not, that seems like a number that keeps recurring. Did we use all the money last year?
We do have a small balance left in last year's project that's still retained on a purchase order. We also still have a cumulative balance of CHIPS funding that we plan on using, but we're going to target that for Spring Street. So till we have a better hold of that scope of the project, we're not going to establish that project that the board actually did approve in the capital plan, but we're going to wait till we have a firmer grip on the actual total cost for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Finance establishment of the 2025 Caputo Center Pool Dextron dehumidification system from debt financing. Whereas the village manager wishes to establish a capital project in accordance with the 2025 capital plan for the Dextron dehumidification system for the pool not to exceed $1,500,000, designated by to be financed by issuance of $1,500,000 serial bonds. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the capital project and the capital budgets are established as follows. And again, the monetary numbers are on the webpage and at the clerk's office. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask again, this dehumidifier, I don't remember it being 1.5 million, but I'm probably off. I thought it was 1.3, but that's okay.
Uh,
What's going on with that?
Right now, it's actually, that was the estimated amount that was in the capital plan. At this point, we're going to have the board approve us, hopefully, to go out to start the bid process. We're hoping that items will come in lower, but this allows us a little flexibility as we move forward. Essentially, the bond resolution allows to borrow up to, but not to exceed an amount. And at the end of the day, we only borrow what we're actually going to use. If we do not use even that level of funding, then we send it back before we turn it over into long-term debt.
Okay. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Finance establishment of the 2025 Youth Bureau 2 hybrid van capital project from grant funds and the 2024 capital fund balance. Whereas the village management wishes to establish a capital project in accordance with the 2025 capital plan for 2 Youth Bureau hybrid vans not to exceed $115,000, designated to be financed by CREST grant funding of $100,000 and the 2024 general fund balance of $15,000. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the capital project and the capital projects are established as follows. And again, the financing is on the webpage and on the clerk's bulletin board. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
I just want to comment that I just want the public to understand that this is a $100,000 grant for the vans. We're matching a little bit with that 15,000 to cover an overage. And if it comes to more than that, I'm not sure we're going to get 2 vans. We can get 1 van. And we talked about it during the budget meeting. I don't want to be redundant, but for people who are focused in tonight or see this in review, I want to differentiate when the village is using our tax dollars from the village versus it coming from state or county. In this case, I think it's Pete Harcum. Is that, I think came from, that from the state? It came from the state, not.
Crest.
Crest comes from the
This is
state,
the
right?
press grant. There's also, and Dale, I want to just say, because, and I apologize, I probably should have caught this earlier. So we had established this for the vans themselves, but there is another grant pending for the infrastructure that would support them.
Because they're hybrids, right?
Because they're hybrids. So that has to be incorporated, but there's also money from Con Ed that we'd be getting. So we haven't really established that yet because we're
Okay.
still waiting to figure out how much will be covered by grant funding and how much would be covered by Con Ed, and we'll establish that. But in order to actually use the vans, we will need that infrastructure. So I just want to caveat that, but we'll be coming back with that. We're still waiting for numbers on that to finalize that.
Are you going to wait
grant
for all
application.
the numbers to come in before
We
you
have to
actually go and
because
get them?
we can't apply for we have another $100,000 CREST grant going towards that, but we can't submit the application without the total budget. We just don't have the numbers yet.
Okay, so we're doing like steps right now.
Yes.
I'm just, we get a lot of requests to supply transportation, which is not really, in my opinion, what a municipality should be doing in the first place. but we do have a youth bureau. We're still learning a lot about it. I think it's important because so many of their programs actually, and the importance of them is off campus. But I just want to make sure that we don't lose track. We get very enamored with grants, but then we end up having to pay for them ourselves, and not a rich community that we can do that. But that's why I got a little confused. So, okay, let's just keep track of where the money's coming from, make sure that the grants cover almost everything, not our budget. That'll be helpful. Did you have a question, Pat? Okay, great. We're gonna move a vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Finance establishment of the 2025 firehouse washer and dryer from grant funds and 2024 general fund balance. Whereas the village management wishes to establish a capital project in accordance to the 2025 capital plan for firehouse washer and dryer not to exceed $60,000 designated to be financed by a CREST grant funding of $50,000 and a 2024 fund balance of $10,000. Now therefore be resolved that the capital projects and the capital projects are established as follows. And again, the numbers are on the bulletin board or on the webpage. Do I have a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Okay, just a question, Dale, this is for one house, right? It's singular.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right. So these are commercial for their very specialized outfits. I don't want people looking at this and going, oh, the Home Depot get them for $500. These
No,
are
no,
very,
no.
very specialized. You know, they go through a lot of material. These guys and women are out fighting fires, smoke, etc., and their outfits have to be washed because there can be contaminants on them. And so we're upgrading. 2025 is our year to really start moving forward. The staff's been very adamant in talking to consultants and looking at the different firehouses and speaking to the chiefs that we need to upgrade. It's a long overdue process, going house by house, upgrading all sorts of items, including how they clean the outfits that you all see them wearing, which are pretty complicated. And most importantly, it's the safety of everyone in the fire department, those that went out, those that when they come back, they have to go home to families. So there are a lot of safety issues. So I'm glad we're like starting to roll that ball down the field. But I just want to make sure that people understand when it says the washer and dryer, what they actually are for 60 grand.
All in favor?
Aye.
Finance establishment of the 2025 police communications room capital project from grant funds and for a 2024 general fund balance. Whereas the village manager wishes to establish a capital project in accordance with the 2025 capital plan for police communications room not to exceed $125,000, designated to be financed by a CREST grant funding of $100,000 and a 2024 general fund balance of $25,000. Now therefore be it resolved that the capital project and the capital project budgets are established as follows. And again, the finances are on the webpage and on the clerk's office. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Any comments or questions? This was actually discussed in detail during the budget meetings, if anybody wants to go back to that. These are investments in our police department.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Finance establishment of the 2025 Caputo Center charging station from grant funds and 2024 grant general fund balance. Whereas the village management wishes to establish a capital projects in accordance with the 2025 capital plan for a recreation Caputo Center charging station not to exceed $115,000, designated to be financed by a CREST grant funding of $100,000 and a 2024 fund balance of $15,000. Now therefore be resolved that the capital projects and the capital projects budgets are established as follows. And again, the financing part of it.
Wait a second.
Okay.
So sorry. Anyway, I know it's in the agenda, but this is what I was talking about before. I think I would prefer to table this one at one point. We do have $100,000 for the charging stations, but there is some elements from Con Ed that we thought we would have that I don't have yet from Con Ed. And there's probably grants associated with that too, but I don't have it yet. So I think I'd rather have this complete. So apologies for not catching it earlier, but we'd like to table that one for now.
Do I have a motion to table this agenda item?
So moved.
Second?
Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hold on one second. Getting used to writing Pat's initials. Okay. Establishment, oh, tabled. Sorry.
Right, L.
Okay. Finance establishment of the 2025 Nelson Park Playground Capital Project from grant funds and 2024 grant general fund balance. Whereas the village management wishes to establish a capital project in accordance with the 2025 capital plan for Nelson Sitting Park Playground not to exceed $400,000 designated financed of a CREST grant funding of $200,000 and a 2024 general fund balance of no, so that should be, Dale, should I amend that to be $200,000? Okay,
Yes, please. Sorry about that.
it's okay. $200,000. Now therefore be resolved, the capital projects and the capital park budgets are established as follows. And again, the financing is done and is on the webpage and on the clerk's office, and it is correct. That is correct. Do I have a motion for the amended resolution?
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Finance, establishment of the 2025 Caputo Center roof replacement capital project from DRI interproject transfer and grant funds. Whereas the village manager wishes to establish a capital project in accordance with the 2025 capital plan for the Caputo Center roof replacement not to exceed $1,200,000 designated to be financed by a transfer from Market Square Public Plaza Enhancements DRI project of $1,075,000 previously funded by the general fund and New York State CREST grant funding of $125,000. Now therefore be it resolved that the capital projects and capital project budgets are established as follows. And again, the financing is on the webpage and on the page. Do I have a motion?
So move.
So I don't remember that we talked about moving in public anyway, some funds from the Market Square enhancements to the roof. Not that it doesn't need a roof, because it needs a roof. Without a decent roof, as we all know, in apartments and in houses, everything else is worthless because
We
everything
just-
leaks through.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We discussed this during the budget meetings and it was recorded
Okay.
publicly. We did discuss it,
Okay,
which is how we got to this point. So it,
okay, and you think that's going to cover a new roof?
the estimate for the roof is in the $1 million ballpark. Like
Okay.
it's really just playing, we wanted to make sure that we still have, in using the DRI funds, there's $2 million from the DRI allocated to the renovation or the re-landscaping, if you will, of Market Square, which is a landscaping project. So $2 million is still a nice chunk of money for that. But the needs of the roof, we wouldn't want to compromise things that we'd want to do at the center that are also needed for the upgrades. We wanted to make sure that we had the money we need not only to do the roof, but also the things that we had planned for the total renovation of the site. Again, this is somewhat fungible. So if when we get the estimates, we have more money, we can reallocate it and we can work with the state. This is our match money, so it's not so much the state designated money, but we certainly can reallocate that money other ways if we don't end up needing it.
When do you think you're
Or-
going to get to the roof?
The roof is, we're getting ready to bid the roof. So that's, imminent once these projects are set up. But it's the total cost of the renovations in the center that we're not, we
Got it.
need, yeah.
Okay. All righty, middle of a vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 DPW authorization to advertise for bids, contract DPW 2501, Birdsall Fagan Police Court of Facilities Elevator Rehabilitation. Resolved that subject to review of Corporation Council, the village clerk is authorized to advertise for bids for contract DPW 2501, Birdsall Fagan Police Court Facility Elevator Rehabilitation. Such bids will be returnable to the village clerk. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any comments? Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
DPW authorization to bid contract DPW 25-02, Caputo Community Center HVAC and dehumidification upgrades. Resolved that, subject to review of Corporation Council, the village clerk is authorized to advertise for bids for contract DPW 2502, Caputo Community Center HVAC and dehumidification upgrades. Such bids will be returnable to the village clerk. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
DPW authorization to advertise for bids, contract DPW 2503, Caputo Community Center roof replacement. Resolved that, subject to review of Corporation Council, the village clerk is authorized to advertise for bids for contract DPW 2503, Caputo Community Center roof replacements. Such bids are returnable to the village clerk. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Be a busy time. DPW authorization to bid, contract DPW 2504, Birdsall Fagan Police Court Facility roof replacement. Resolved that, subject to review of Corporation Council, the village clerk is authorized to advertise for bids for contract DPW 2504, Birdside Fagan Police Court Facilities roof replacement, with bids returnable to the village clerk. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you. DPW award of bid, installation of the new water transmission main, Whitetail Circle, Hawks Avenue, and Route 9A, New York's Department of Transportation entrance exit ramp, Phase 1. Resolved that, subject to review of Corporation Council, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Austin hereby awards the bid for contract number DPW 2401, installation of, I don't think that's right. Installation of the new water transmission main, Whitetail Circle, Hawks Avenue, Route 9A, New York State Department of Transportation, entrance and exit ramp, Phase 1, to Peter J. Landy, Inc., 13 Bradhurst Avenue, Hawthorne, New York, 10532, for the base amount of $795,865, which was the lowest bid received from the responsive and responsible bidder. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any comments? Sue? Trouble?
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any continuing business of the board?
Before we do that, I just want to sum this up. The first chapter, if you will, is the board approving the monies and the transference of money from one account to the other, so that the financials are done correctly. Sort of chapter 2 was the board approving contracts to really just move on these projects. You'll notice, as we discussed in 2024, 2025 is going to be a big year in police investment, in the buildings, police, village, municipal buildings, parks. You heard that we're redoing Nelson Sitting, and Caputo Center, Community Center, which is a highly used environment with many, many different moving parts to it. So here we are in January, approving a move forward financially, and then to actually move forward for bidding on many, it went very quickly, but these are major projects, and there is a whole bunch of them.
Busy time for the clerks.
Just one change for Nelson Sitting Park. It's listed as CREST. It's a community development block grant funding for
Okay.
that project.
Do we need to revote?
And we did request the maximum funding. As you remember, the bids came in a little bit higher than we thought, so they're a
Right.
little shy of $400,000. So we did ask for the county to allocate us the full $200,000. We're still waiting for that response, so we'll be contingent on their response. We're hopeful that they'll say yes, but just should be CDBG, not CREST.
Okay, so do we have to re-vote? Do we have to, what do we have to do here?
That's
Yeah,
the
we
one we
amended the
amended already,
numbers.
but we're gonna vote on L again. Finance establishment of the 2025 Nelson Sitting Park Playground Capital Project from grant funds and 2024 general fund balance, whereas the village management wishes to establish a capital project in accordance with the 2025 capital plan for Nelson Sitting Park Playground not to exceed $400,000 designated by financing by CDBG funding instead of CREST, and the 2024 general fund balance of $200,000. Now therefore be resolved that the capital project and capital project budgets are established as follows. Do I have a motion? As amended?
So moved.
Second?
Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you very much. Is there any continuing business of the board?
You know what, I'll wait till new business, doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Any continuing business?
No.
Okay. Under new,
New business.
we have a very large project that we reviewed, probably took us about an hour out of the agenda to look at Route 9 and all of the exciting initiative that's going on there, big initiative for us in that 1 mile stretch. Thank you to the members of the public who have sent some emails, even earlier, right before this meeting. I got feedback from 2 community members about Havel Street and how this particular couple was very much for it, and they live in that area. So all of these are good feedback, but because it's such a large project, similar to what we did with the TPW site, I want to appoint Bob Fritchie, Trustee Fritchie, and Trustee Dana White to be the board liaisons on that project. I am hopeful that although the folks involved meet every couple of weeks or so, it's, I think, unreasonable to expect trustees who do this, part-time to be there every 2 weeks. But there has to be some milestones set up for 2025 so that the 2 trustees are updated and to the project, which I'm sure the manager and Maddie Sahaj would also find some slots that are milestones so that before the board in total sees an update on that project, that we get the 2 trustees involved to really sort of put in their 2 cents worth, if you will. So I want to appoint those 2 trustees as liaisons and add them in to that list.
Okay. Is there any other new business of the board? May I have an adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
There's no executive session tonight, so it's, what?
Yay.
I heard somebody, what?
This Bob saying.
Oh, Bob, okay.
yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
Bob.
So it is 8:09 on this lovely wintry evening. I'm hearing so many comments, or am I just hearing things? Okay, sorry about that. January 22nd, we will see everybody in a work session next Wednesday. And have a really good evening, everyone. Adjourned.